The cold that night wasn't ordinary. It cut through skin and bone, the kind of cold that made people hurry past each other with their heads down, pretending they didn't see the suffering right in front of them. The city lights glittered like they didn't care. And that's when he saw her, standing alone at the bus stop, shivering so badly she could barely hold her torn handbag. Without thinking, he took off his jacket and stepped toward her, unaware that this single act of kindness would change both their lives forever. Her name was Maya Collins, 23 years old, a struggling waitress who worked double shifts just to afford a tiny room on the edge of the city. That night, her bus was late again. Her coat had been stolen weeks ago, and pride had kept her from asking anyone for help. She hugged herself tightly, teeth chattering, silently begging the bus to come faster. When a shadow fell over her, fear shot through her chest. Big cities weren't kind to women alone at night. Here, a calm voice said. She looked up to see a man holding out a dark, expensive-looking jacket. He was tall, well-groomed, his eyes steady but gentle. He didn't smile like he expected gratitude. He just looked concerned. "I'm fine," Maya lied automatically. "You're not," he replied softly. "Please, it's freezing." Something in his voice broke through her defenses. Before she could stop herself, she accepted the jacket. The warmth wrapped around her like safety, and tears stung her eyes, not from the cold this time. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded. "I'm Daniel Harper." She didn't know that name meant anything. To her, he was just a stranger who cared when no one else did. They stood there awkwardly for a moment, then started talking. Small things at first. Late buses, long days, the kind of conversation two tired souls share when the world slows down just enough for honesty to slip through. When her bus finally arrived, she handed the jacket back. "Keep it," Daniel said. "I'll be fine." She hesitated. "I don't even know how to thank you." "Just stay warm," he replied. The bus doors closed, and as it pulled away, Daniel watched her disappear into the night, not realizing that he had just given away more than a jacket. He had given hope to someone who had almost lost it. Days later, fate crossed their paths again. Maya spilled coffee all over a customer at the diner where she worked. Panic flooded her veins. She needed this job. As she scrambled for napkins, she heard a familiar voice chuckle softly. "Rough morning." She looked up, stunned. It was him, Daniel. Embarrassed, she apologized over and over, but he just smiled and told her it was nothing. They talked again, longer this time. He listened, really listened, as she spoke about her dreams of becoming a nurse, about her sick mother she sent money to every month, about how life kept knocking her down just when she tried to stand up. What she didn't know was that Daniel Harper wasn't just anyone. He was the CEO of one of the largest medical technology companies in the country. A man who had everything, money, power, respect, but had lost the one thing that mattered most years ago, genuine human connection. Daniel started coming to the diner regularly. Not for the food, but for the way Maya looked at the world with honesty despite how harsh it had been to her. For the way she smiled even when she was exhausted. For the way she thanked him again and again for that jacket, like it was more than fabric. But challenges don't wait politely. Maya's manager began cutting her hours. Rent went up. Her mother's health worsened. One night, she broke down in the diner's storage room, crying so hard she couldn't breathe. Daniel found her there. "I can't do this anymore," she sobbed. "I work so hard, and it's never enough." He wanted to tell her everything. Who he was. That he could fix her problems with a single phone call. But he stopped himself. He had seen what money did to relationships. He didn't want her gratitude. He wanted her trust. So instead, he sat beside her on the cold floor and said, "You're stronger than you think. And you're not alone." Not anymore. Life tested them again when Maya's ex-boyfriend, Chris, reappeared. He had left her when she fell into debt, calling her a burden. Now that he saw her with a well-dressed man, he mocked her openly, accusing her of chasing rich men to survive. The words cut deep. Old wounds reopened. Maya pulled away from Daniel, ashamed, convinced she was just a charity case. Daniel let her go, but not without pain. Weeks passed. No diner visits. No late-night talks. The cold returned, this time inside both of them. Then everything collapsed at once. Maya's mother was hospitalized. Bills piled up. Maya was fired after missing shifts to care for her. With nowhere else to turn, she showed up at the same bus stop where everything began, clutching the jacket Daniel had insisted she keep. Snow fell softly, mocking her desperation. A black car pulled up. Daniel stepped out. I've been looking for you, he said, voice tight with emotion. She shook her head. I can't do this. I don't want pity. This isn't pity, he replied. This is truth. That night, he finally told her everything. Who he was, why he stayed silent, how her kindness and resilience had reminded him of the man he used to be before wealth turned life into transactions. Maya felt betrayed, angry, overwhelmed. She walked away, but some truths don't leave easily. Days later, Maya received a letter. Not money, not an offer, just words. Daniel wrote about losing his wife years ago. About building walls so high no one could reach him. About how a shivering woman at a bus stop had unknowingly saved him too. That's when Maya understood. Love wasn't about power or rescue. It was about seeing someone when they felt invisible. She found Daniel standing at that same bus stop, waiting. I don't need you to save me, she said. I know, he replied. I just want to walk beside you. Together, they faced the challenges ahead, her studies, her mother's recovery, the judgment of a world quick to assume. It wasn't easy, it wasn't perfect, but it was real. Years later, Maya stood in a hospital hallway, wearing scrubs, her hand resting in Daniel's. She had become a nurse. He had learned to slow down. And the jacket still hung in their home, a reminder. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness becomes the beginning of a forever. And sometimes, love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes, it simply says, "Here, take my jacket, it's cold out there."